Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel for this episode 22 of the 200 horsepower challenge here on Comlands with me, Farmer Murphy. Well, it's 9:30 or just about 9:30. We're picking up pretty close to where we left off. I did get these fields limed off camera and we had no issue with our lime spreader on these. They were just a mulch texture, and so it just seems to be when they've been cultivated, plowed, or something like that, that it's going to have an issue. So we're not going to have too many more occasions where that's going to be the case, so we'll be fine. Now we're going to get a worker going on here, get these plowed, which is the next step, and then we need to rock pick, ridge, and then we can seed. So that I'll do all off camera because I showed that the last time we did it. I'm just going to carry on. Now I did look on another map to see how long it takes for our carrots to, or our vegetables in general, to grow. So we'll be able to harvest them in another 5 months. And so that becomes important information when we come in here and take a look at our production. If we go down here, we will see that we have 115,000 liters of carrots, 101,000 liters of parsnip, and 84,000 liters of red beet. And that is enough to keep our triple soup production going here full time. And let's put that on selling for 5 months. That'll take actually 60,000 liters of product, so we have more than enough for each. If we look at the individual recipes, they take quite a bit more. They can process about 40,000, I think it was, in a month. So what we'll do is probably after every couple crop cycles, we'll just turn these on for a month, and that'll use up our leftover vegetables. Now, if we run up here and take a look at the soil map, we can see that here our carrot field has a little bit more loam on it. I think it's just generally a little better field as far as soil type goes, and I think that's why we have the larger discrepancy between the carrots and the parsnips, because their price wise is only $5 a thousand difference. But I just think there's better soil in that first field. So what we're going to do is we're just going to swap them around. We'll just alternate. That first field will get a parsnips this rotation, and then carrots the next, and we'll swap them back and forth. Now what we might do is, because our red beets, they're falling a fair bit behind as far as quantity goes, we might do another small little patch someplace when we get some more land and throw a little bit more red beet in. We'll see. So our harvester is just about full. I can't remember if I mentioned or not, but obviously we've got a worker going on that. Once we get this off, we are going to prep this field and put potatoes. So it really, and I don't think it's going to be an issue, but I really like to get the potatoes in and the vegetables back in. So that's where my focus is going to be. And then I'll just do the grass if I have time. Now this will be the third time I've emptied the harvester, and this will fill our trailer up. And I think I know I've mentioned it. I don't know if it was on this Let's Play, but on one of them anyways. If I've got a trailer that I can empty the harvester 3 times with as a minimum, I'm usually pretty happy. So, and this one will do just that, as we'll see. Now what I'm probably going to do here is I'm going to actually swap this tractor out for our other medium-sized Deutz, and I'm going to put this tractor on the loading wagon, and I'm going to start picking up straw, and I'll cart with our other Deutz tractor, and I'll do all that off camera because I've shown lots of barley harvesting. So just going to work with the workers and get that done as efficiently as we can. And once I have that field prepped and ready to put in potatoes, then I'll bring you back in and we'll do some potato planting. That is my plan anyways, but I thought I'd keep you on here. We'll just see how this tractor handles this trailer load of barley going up this hill. Yeah, it knows it's there, there's no doubt about it. We probably, I mean, we definitely could have gone with a little bit larger trailer, but we would have just struggled more on the hills. So for the time being anyways, I think we'll just stick with this. It seems to be working okay. We're at the point too, I think we can probably start selling off some of our straw. Don't think we're going to need all the straw we're going to get, so we might as well just sell some. Alright, well, I'm going to carry on. Like I said, I will get that field harvested. We'll continue to work on the vegetable plots at the same time with our workers, and I'll bring you back in when we're ready to put potatoes in, which will be in a little while. So we'll catch up with you then. Well, welcome back to the farm. As you can see, it's just afternoon. If we jump into construction mode here, we will be able to see that there is a worker going, and what he's doing is he's planting parsnips in our first field there. The other fields, we can get a little closer, we can see they're all ready to be planted into as well. I had a worker do all of the work on those fields, 100%. I didn't do anything on there. This is where our barley was, and it's all ready to go for our potatoes. Now, we got about 87,000 liters of barley off of there. It's all in our silo right now. Some we are going to give to the chickens. We'll top up our chicken feed. And some we're going to turn into seeds, some for our own use and some to sell. Now, we could use the seeds for potatoes, but we're actually, if we go into the shop here, we're going to buy our seed for that. I believe it's here, right towards the end, someplace here, right there. So our seeds, if we were to sell them, are worth about $1,200 per 1,000 liters, and we can buy seed potatoes by the pallet, $850 for 2,000 liters. Oh, shoot, we can't buy them in multiples. Okay, well, we'll have to do it like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that'll fill up our seeder, or our planter. And you may have noticed there is a new piece of gear sitting behind our Deutz here. And this is a small auger wagon that we're going to use as a seed tender. It'll hold 1.5 planters full. 13,000 liters it'll hold. So once we get a worker going on this, then I'll keep him filled up, because he's going to go through a fair bit of seed potatoes, I should say. I'm going to imagine on a field that size. What I am going to try and do is keep track of it though, and we may hold back that amount of potatoes to seed the field again next time. We'll see how many potatoes we get. That's kind of what I'm thinking we might do. Now this should exactly fill the planter, and once we get started and get a worker going on it, we'll come back up, we'll buy some more, and we'll put it in the auger wagon so we can fill it up when it's emptied out. But I kind of want to get a sense of how much it's going to use. It's been a little while since I've planted potatoes. That's been quite a while, actually. Oh, I see our worker is finished with the parsnips. Now he can just sit and wait for a bit. We'll get this going, and I'll deal with him at some point, because I'm going to have to top his seed up too. Now, got traffic turned off, so we are good just to boot right across here. So I think I'll be able to get onto the grass work today, at least get it started. But like I said, it's only noon. We're already putting the potatoes in, and the vegetables are just about done. I can't remember now. Do we need to turn this thing on? Apparently not. And away we go. Now, you may notice that this field has a cultivated texture. That's because this is the second time I've bought this planter down here. The first time I had just had it limed and mulched, and I didn't even think of it, but this is not a direct drill. That's usually because potatoes require plantings, or sorry, planting. They require that too. But when you're done here, we'll have to plow it, so you're planting into a plowed field. So I never even thought about it not being a direct drill. So I just had to buy a cultivator and cultivate it, a shallow cultivator, because I didn't want to take the time to plow it and pick the rocks out of it this time. So we took a hit on that, but not too much. I'll when we get a worker going here, I'll show you which cultivator I used, or disc harrow actually. Now I haven't used a worker on this tractor yet, so those 3.7 hours are all mine. But that's about to change because I'm going to get a worker going on this. But I wanted to have our most powerful tractor on this potato planter. Now, for most of the time that I was working off camera, I had at least 3 tractors going, and there for a while I did have all 4 going, so it really makes a difference in what you get done when you've got a bunch of tractors and you've got workers going. Yeah, I have no problem with this at all. Oh, I missed a little bit there. That's telling me I need to get a worker on it. Now, something else I'll share with you. When I was picking up the straw, I got to thinking, and I think at least for the straw, but maybe we'll turn a worker loose here. Maybe on the grass as well. I think we might start baling it, but I'm pretty sure on the straw we will. I thought I saw a Deutz baler at one point. I know I don't have it installed, but I thought I'd go and look for it and see if I can find it, because it'd be a good opportunity to use it. And straw's pretty light, so we'll pick it up with the the bale stacker, but we won't have any trouble moving that around the map because, like I said, straw is light. And I did end up selling most of the straw. I kept, we've got about 200,000 liters, which should be plenty because we're not very far from having barley again. So I just sold most of it off. So that's what I'm thinking. It'd be a lot more efficient if we could just pick it up, bale it and pick it up. Now, I don't know if our fermenting silo will accept bales or not, but if it did, we could actually bale up the grass, and that would speed that up as well. Well, I think that's a gal we got in there. Yes, it is. Well, she's going to be going for a little bit. So what I'll do is I'll leave you here for just a moment, and I'm going to run over and get that worker going on our carrots, and I'll meet you up at the shop, and we'll get our auger wagon situated with more seed. So I'll catch up with you in just a few minutes. Well, we're back here riding along with the worker that's planting our potatoes. I just thought I'd come and check how she was making out before I went and bought a bunch more seed. And if we actually take a look at the map here, you can see she was down to basically 70% of seed left. She doesn't have quite 25% done. She's probably only going to need to be topped up one more time, and she'll be good, I'm thinking. Hard to say. Trying to judge. Yeah, she'll be close to halfway by the time she runs out of potatoes, I'm thinking. Definitely won't make it all the way. But we'll ride along here for a minute. So I'm thinking that we're going to wind this series down here in not too distant future. We're certainly going to finish up and harvest these potatoes and probably turn the fields around. And I do want to buy the field that is north of our cow barn. Well, here, let's look at the map again. This one right here, just to make this a more kind of reasonably shaped field. And I'm thinking we might try putting some crop in there. And we'll leave these two as our grass fields. This one here is real easy to work with a worker, obviously. This one's not too bad. So I'm thinking we'll leave those as our grass fields, and we'll put another crop in here. Whether now we'll put barley in, or maybe just another cash crop like canola possibly. But I definitely want to do that before we wind down. And like I said, I want to get these potatoes in, making some potato soup, and you know, get our production going. Now, my original thought was to carry on for a little ways, but as we all know, it's likely that we're going to get a new game this fall. And there's one more series I would like to do on 22 before we go to the new game. And I only have so many hours in a day, just like everybody else. So I need to kind of wrap some of these series up. Now this one's the closest to being done. Valley Spring is actually on camera is getting close to being done. There's lots of off camera work that still needs to go on there. I'm up to 500 hours on that on the Author Intended Challenge. Yeah, we can talk about that more when we're on Valley Spring at some point, but it's soon. I'm thinking that the on-camera episodes are going to be reduced because it's just I'm going to do more like a quarterly update because there's nothing really new going on there anymore. So that then leaves Silver Run and Bloomfield, and Silver Run is getting, you know, fairly close to being wrapped up. We still have a number of things to do, but we're making tons of money on there. It's not going to take that long. So Bloomfield, though, is probably going to carry on right till the new game comes out, I suspect. So that's why I'm thinking that try and wrap this one up in Valley Spring and Silver Run as quickly as we can, just so I can get onto that other series, because I have had this idea percolating for a long time and I'd really like to do it. So I'll probably hang on to the game save though, so it doesn't mean we might not come back and revisit it, or I might play on it personally. But as far as satisfying the challenge, we're pretty close in number of episodes there, because it wasn't between 20 and 30 or 25 and 30 or something like that. We're at episode 22. But we're like Valley Spring, we're going to be we're fast approaching a point where it's just going to be rinse and repeat. Nothing really new going on unless we add something more to it. But we'll pretty much have accomplished all of my goals. I know I was talking about buying, if we look at the map again, this plot here. But I don't know. We might not bother just because we're just going to, all we would do is put in some more crops, and they'd just be cash crops or selling them unless we added more productions. And like I said, I think we'll kind of work towards winding this up. And there she is, half out. Sorry, I'm just going to look at this. Definitely not half done. Okay, well, I will leave you there for a moment, and I will meet you back up at the store, and we'll get our auger wagon loaded up with basically just another 8,000. I think should do it. You know what? Maybe we'll throw in 10 just for good measure, because it won't hurt for him to sit in the planter, and we'll get that down so she can carry on and it doesn't have to wait for us. So I'll meet you up at the shop. Well, we'll get this loaded up. I bought our seed pallets. This small Jan auger wagon makes a pretty good seed tender. I do like to use the, I'll show you the one. That's my preference, but the trouble is you need to have the right vehicle to tow it. Uh-oh. Am I just not close enough? Oh, no. Whoops. We'll sneak in here really good and close. Nope. Okay. Wow. Surprise. Actually, let's be smart about this, or try and be smart about this. Let's swing this around. I'll have to take this tractor. I'll run and put our bucket. We have a set of forks, and come back up and load these manually. Not a big deal. We'll set that about there. Actually, should work pretty good. All right, I'll go get our forks on, and I'll meet you back up here again. Well, I know I said I'd meet you back up at the shop with some forks. You can see no forks. You can also see no auger wagon. I thought I had recorded actually the return of that item, but I found out I did not. So we're down here. Actually, what are we parked down here for? We're down here to get this worker turned around and going on the beets. But when I got to the farm to hook up the forks, it suddenly dawned on me that most auger wagons won't hold potatoes, and it was true of that one. Yes. So I had recorded going back up and selling it, or I thought I had, but when I went to kind of review it back, I realized I hadn't. So yes, it was more stinking thinking on the part of Farmer Murphy. Like I said, I do use it as a seed tender all the time, but most auger wagons won't haul potatoes. Don't know what I was thinking. Well, just wasn't thinking, obviously. But I figured it out, and so I just sold it back. Now we'll get this guy going here. So we'll just bring the potato planter up there and fill it up, because we'll only need to do it one time, so it's not a big deal. So we took a little bit of a hit. Oh, yes, and I also showed you, so I have to show you that again. Speaking of hits, we took a little hit on that, and we took a little hit on this. But this is the cultivator I used. It's a pretty nice cultivator, actually, because it doesn't cost you a fortune. Shallow cultivation only costs 10,000. It's almost 10 meters wide, goes at 18 kilometers an hour. So I think I should have wrote it down, but we took a little hit on that. I think it was about $1,500 or something like that. When we sold that back, but I just bought it to do that field, because I knew we'd only do it, only had to do that the one time. So we'll just wait for her to run out of those potatoes, and we'll snag the tractor and run up there and fill it up. You can see our money continues to march ahead every hour. because our soup factory course is adding funds every hour. We still have a little bit of fertilizers being processed. There's not a whole lot left there, I don't think. Um, but we're kind of got to that point too where money is not too much of a concern. We do need to buy the 2 potato planters, like that's 300 grand. But we'll get close to that anyways off of these 2 grass fields. And then of course we've got all that barley that we can throw in and make some seed out of. Maybe, I think the trailer's still up here. Maybe what we'll do while we're waiting for her is we will grab our trailer and we'll fill it up with barley and throw it into the chickens. I thought we'd top the chicken pen right up while we had the opportunity. I still have to get our harvester put away. I haven't done that yet. Now I put our plow down in our other shed, so it'd just be our cedar that'll be under that awning here. It'll be nice. So I won't have to have it sitting in the yard when I'm not using it, just when I need to get at the plow. There we go, 89,000 liters, but we had about 2,000 liters in there from before, so we got about 87 out of that. Now we'll just fill that up. Hopefully, I think that should be enough to fill up that chicken coop. Oh, and you remember what I said this morning? And that the cows were, the last time weren't, they made the manure, but they kept it all in the pen. Well, now the pen is empty and it's all coming over here. You just never know what this thing is going to do. Keeps you on your toes. All right, let's see if that fills that up. Should be close, I would think. Oh, well, that should be enough feed to last our chickens for quite a while. So now we know what we've got available to make a seed out of. And I'm thinking our, one barley field would keep up to those chickens for quite a while. All right, well, I think I'll leave you there, and I'll catch up with you when that potato field is done, and we'll see where we're at then. But I think at that point we'll be pretty much at an episode, so I'll catch up with you then. Well, there we go. Our potato field is in. Something I didn't think about. I wonder if this has the same growth cycle as our other vegetables. We'll have a lot of root crop harvesting to do if that's the case, all at the same time. Anyways, and all our other vegetables are planted as well, and I have started working on the grass field. Actually, if we just charge up the hill, you'll be able to see. Started mowing. I actually have a worker working on it while I came down here, but I was originally doing it. Oh man, starting to run out of wind running up this hill. That was a little bit further trek than I thought it was going to be. There we go. He's going, but I'm going to take over for him here in just a second. But I think we will leave the episode there. And obviously I'm not going to have any issue getting that grass done because it's only 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So that actually went faster than I thought it would, to be honest with you. So I think we have nothing but grass work for the next little bit. I do believe our little barley field will be the next one up. I can't remember if he's on the same cycle as the big one, but that'll be the next thing of significance anyways, other than grass work. So we will see you then. And so if you're still with me, I really appreciate you watching. If you haven't already, I encourage you to hit that like and subscribe button. And if you want to know when other content like this lands, hit that old notification bell. But for this episode here on Calm Lands, it's Farmer Murphy signing off.